Sippin' and Strummin'. Whoa, whoo, yeah.
Howdy, sippers. What's up, strummers? It's Brad, back with episode 11 of Sippin' and Strummin'. Hope you're all well. It's been a minute. I'd love to do these more regularly. I am just a bit of a layabout, and oftentimes not very motivated. Let's see what's going on today. I'm gonna sip a little Pink Whitney, just a small one though, because I got to go to work here in a few minutes. This is the Spittin' Chicklets guys, the hockey podcast that I really like. This is it's like a pink lemonade vodka. It's pretty good. But I caught this one from Colby Armstrong. They did a live podcast in January or late December. I forget when it was, right when the Winter Classic was happening here at Wrigley. And they came into the Riv and they did a live podcast. They had Wayne Gretzky was on the show and you know, all the regulars, Paul Bissonnette and Ryan Whitney and Keith Yandel, and Colby Armstrong. Armstrong, Witt, and Bissonnette have all played on the Penguins at some time. Not very long, and none of them won a cup with them, but they all played there. So then he threw this one out at the end, and I caught this one, threw it in the freezer. I was wearing my Penguins gear, my Penguins shirt, and I think in a Winter Classic hat. And Chris Chelios, Hall of Fame defenseman for the Chicago Blackhawks, among other teams, Detroit Red Wings, Montreal Canadiens. But he was telling the story of his 91-92 Chicago Blackhawks, and he was a mean son of a bitch on the ice, man. I hated him. And how they were a wagon of a team that year, and they rolled through everybody till the Stanley Cup Finals when they met Mario Lemieux and the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I went, yeah! And I stood up and cheered, the only one in the whole place. And he goes, don't fucking cheer for that. And they were all Gretzky and Whitney, and they were all like looking, they go, there's a Penguins fan out there? And they were all like shielding their eyes from the lights trying to see me, and I was standing up going, yeah! That was hilarious. But I went with my friend Dan, who was a hockey guy from Michigan. His dad, actually, Gary, was drafted higher than Brett Hall in the 1980, I don't know what it was, 3, 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there, NHL draft. He never ended up playing a game, though, because he felt like he was just on the cusp of being an NHL player and not. And I guess he knew a lot of friends and teammates that just bumped around on buses and shitty hotels in the minor leagues. And he, still being a pro, but in the minor leagues, and he wanted to have a family. He didn't want that uncertainty. So he never played a game in the NHL. This is my friend Dan's dad. Anyway, that's a fun story. I'll be going to Dan and his fiancee Leah's wedding in a couple weeks. So that'll be fun. That was a fun night. I got a little too drunk and missed dinner with my girlfriend, though, so that didn't go over well. But you live and you hopefully learn. What else is going on here? I got my camo on today. For the last little bit, I really have been. I think if you know me at all, you pretty much know that I've always had a bit of a cowboy outdoors type of a sentiment in me, but I've just always lived in the city. I mean, I grew up fishing with my cousin. The Ohio River, we like to say the Ohio River was our babysitter. Every year in summer, when our parents worked, we lived a couple blocks away, and we'd meet up with our fishing rods in the morning. We'd walk down to the Golden Dawn, which was a grocery store on Ohio River Boulevard in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We ate the weirdest shit. We'd get a Yoo-hoo or something. We'd get a pack of 6 like donut gems and like a bottle of pepperoncinis. If we needed to if we wanted to catch some carp or catfish, we'd get a can of corn. You know, we had a can opener with us, and then we'd walk down this hill across the railroad tracks, and we'd stay at the river all day till dinner time, and we'd fish and our friends and see things and start fires and jump on trains and do all the stuff the kids do, you know, when you live around there, when that kind of stuff's available to you. But I really decided maybe a year or two ago that I wanted to like kill my own turkey, pluck it, gut it, dress it, field, you know, that kind of thing. A deer. I got a shotgun for turkey. Got some turkey targets. Went out to the range and tried to dial that in. You know, you want to shoot that turkey in the head. Boom, headshot. You don't want all that buckshot throughout the body. So you got to get good with that with the shotgun there. Then I got a deer rifle. It's a really nice deer rifle with a scope on it and everything. Found out that that's illegal to hunt deer with in Illinois. It's chambered in a round called 6.5 Creedmoor. And that of course is illegal in Illinois to hunt deer. Illinois is weird, but it's legal in Wisconsin and Indiana and Ohio and stuff, and they're right over the border. So I can just go hunt there. I guess I can also hunt with my 20 gauge. I can hunt deer too with a slug instead of buckshot. But anyway, you don't want to get into in the weeds about that. I really love the idea of that. Of having the knowledge of being able to hunt, kill, field dress, get all the cuts of meat out of all that stuff, maybe learn how to, I don't know, hide and stuff. It's interesting when you're living in the city though. I remember I was laying in bed one night and I had the thought, oh, I never thought of this part of it before, which is crazy, but you go out in the woods with a gun, your camouflage, and you hunt. And then let's say you shoot a deer. Now you're out in the woods with 110, 20, 30, 40, 50 pound, bigger if you're lucky, dead deer. I mean, like, then what do you do? I mean, I don't have a pickup truck, can't chuck it in the truck. What am I gonna take it out to my Subaru, my Impreza, strap it to the roof, drive it home to my fucking apartment? So that's kind of, you know, hang it in my shower. And start going to work on it in the tub, like, you know, remember that scene in Scarface where they have the guy the guy to do a drug deal and they have him in a hotel room, tied, you know, like chained, handcuffed to the shower curtain, and the crazy guy with the chainsaw is just like sawing him up with the TV. While his woman turns the TV up real loud so nobody can hear it. So. That's, you know, there are some aspects of it that you have to think through. I could drop it off at a processing plant and they could do the whole thing and hide it and cut it and get all the meat cuts and stuff out of it, but then I'm not really learning anything. So I have to think about that. I think I'm going to start with the turkey because a turkey's easier. You know, you go out in the woods for a while and if you're lucky enough to get a turkey, which isn't easy, I'd just throw that in the fucking trunk of my car and bring that home here. And process that out, no problem at all. I've been working on my mouth calls for turkey. I got this little packet of these diaphragm calls. They say they do different things, each one of them, but I'm not good enough to tell the difference. I'm riding around on my scooter just doing these calls because I don't like practicing in my house because it's weird. It's loud and it's weird. And so I'm out there if I'm going to work or go to a friend's house and I got the little diaphragm call in, you know, and doing that kind of thing. I'm not that good at it yet, but it's fun. That doesn't really sound like a hen, I don't think, but I'm not sure. What else? Yeah, we're going camping at the end of the month. It's my birthday. And myself and Cam and my friends Connor and Bella, we're going to go to a couple hours away in Wisconsin and do a little camping. And there's a outdoor range, gun range, about 9 miles away from the campsite. So I'm taking my deer rifle and my shotgun. I'm going to shoot, what do you call it? Skeet, 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 skeet. I'm going to shoot clay pigeons or skeet for the first time. That'll be fun. I'm going to zero in that scope on my Browning deer rifle out there because you need some yardage to do that. You know, you can't just take it down here to the local range from 20 yards away and shoot a deer rifle. It doesn't do anything. I don't know. I guess I've always had an interest in guns and shooting guns. I remember my dad had a 45 holstered on the side of his bed, loaded and unlocked. And we never even fucked with it. I mean, no, I didn't. I'm sure my sisters didn't. I don't even know. But he took me out to shoot that thing a couple times when I was young. And I think probably getting a taste of how scary that power was and stuff, I left that alone. I never touched that thing. Obviously, nowadays, that wouldn't fly and you wouldn't do that. I mean, I have loaded guns around because I don't have any kids or anything like that. And I don't have anybody coming in here that shouldn't be. And you can ask anybody that knows me. I don't get drunk and fuck around with guns. It's just something I do not do. My cousin Mark, however, I remember when I was a young kid, probably came back from one of those days at the river, fishing at the river with my cousin Brian, his younger brother Brian, who's my age. And my cousin Mark was a couple years ahead of us, 3 years ahead of us. And I remember sitting down at the dinner table and my mom saying, "So your cousin shot himself today?" You know, what a fucking way to say that. And you know, I don't know why you would say it like that, but my cousin Mark was at school, and you were allowed to leave for lunch, and there was a pizza shop, Luigi's Pizza Shop, right around the corner. And he went down there, and I guess he was fishing around in his pocket for some money, but he had taken his dad's little, I think it was a 22, 22 or 25, I don't know, a little pistol, and he pulled the trigger in his pocket, and it went across, and it shot himself in the opposite leg, so across the gap of his legs, shot himself in the shin, and it bounced out like an inch lower. So the two holes are like right above each other, about an inch or two away, and I don't know what happened in the immediacy of that, but he went back to class, was trying to wrap it in paper towels and stuff. He was just bleeding just bleeding out. So he had to go to the hospital or whatever. But that was that was crazy. Things were different back in the day. Although I guess kids still shoot themselves today. I remember years later, Luigi, when he was doing a deep cleaning or a renovation of that pizza shop, found that bullet, found the slug in one of the lighting fixtures up there. He told me about it. I don't know what he did with it. Anyway, so I'm going to hope to get me a Thanksgiving bird this year. But neighbors over here... Oh, but don't worry, I'm definitely not going to turn into annoying like, who's the guy with, he's the great white buffalo guy. He shoots the arrow. What is that? Oh, Stranglehold. Ted Nugent, yeah. That guy's insufferable. My neighbors sold their house, so the next door I have a couple named Randy and Matt, and they've been there 23 years, and they own that house, and they own this house on the other side of me, and they had it as an Airbnb, a really upscale Airbnb for the last 5 years, whole time I've been in this apartment. But it's really nice because all the yards, and the woman that owns this house lives down below me. It's just the two of us. She's like 93. And Randy and Matt have there's no fences in between the 3 yards. There's no alley behind us. It just abuts, all the yards butt together. So everyone in their backyards are together. They have a pond. They did some apiary. They had beehives for the first few years here. And it's just a really lovely little 3-lot backyard. Lawn and flowers and everything. But they sold this house, the Airbnb one next door, to a dude. I haven't met him yet. I don't know if they've met him yet. I think I guess obviously they've met him, but I guess he's a single professor up at Loyola, social media professor, some sort of discipline with social media. The times they are a-changing. $840K. Imagine being a 40-year-old single dude and able to buy an $840,000 house. He is going to put up a fence because he has a dog. We know that much already. I like dogs. I hope it's a cool dog. Do I hope it's a cool dog more than I hope it's a cool owner? or vice versa? That's an interesting question. I hadn't thought about that. You know this song? You probably don't unless you're old like me. This song was always so, what's the word? Melancholy to me. It's this Irish band called Simply Red. Man, for some reason I gravitate towards the Irish authors. Colm Toibin and Colm McCann, I love them as authors. Irish musicians, you know, Damien Rice, Glenn Hansard, Lisa Hannigan, Van Morrison. These are all my favorites. They just got that soul, that soul that I love. But this song coming up on my 53rd birthday in 2 weeks, I guess I remember this song from when I was a kid, and I used to love it as a early teenager. I guess I was sentimental even back then. Holding back the years, a chance for me to escape them all alone. Holding back the tears, 'cause nothing here has grown. I'm holding back the tears, holding back the years, 'cause nothing had the chance to be good. Nothing ever could, yeah. Oh, I'll keep holding on. I'll keep holding on. I'll keep holding on. Holding, 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 holding. Great tune. I thought of an example of last week. Sorry, this episode might be all over the place. I just got up a little motivated, and I was saying I'm going to do one today. Last episode, I was talking a little bit about, you know, when my friend Henry asked me about what I think constitutes a good song, and I was talking about parts and multiple parts and B parts and bridges and choruses. And I thought of a song that I play in my solo gig. It's a modern song. The kids like it. And it's a perfect example of a song that has zero changes in the chord structure. It's the same 4 chords the whole time, but it has 3 or 4 very distinct parts that could be song melodies, or they are song melodies, but could be the center song melody of its own song. All 4 of them could be. But it's a song that goes, I know you wanted me to stay, but I can't ignore the cravings of me in LA. What a place where boys and girls could all be fools every single day. I'm having wicked dreams. See, two melodies already. I know that there's a special place of me in LA. That one reminds me of, as I said before, a little Willy Wonka-ish. It's very whimsical. Live visions of me in LA. I know that there's a special place where girls and boys can all be homes every single. Then another melody comes in, same chord progression. I'm having wicked dreams of leaving Tennessee. Oh, Santa Monica, I hear you're calling me. I'm gonna make 'em proud. It's gonna cause a scene. Yeah, I don't know the lyrics right now. And then another melody. Oh, what have you done, pink pony girl? You dance at the club now. I'm just having fun. No day, and I dance at the club. Then another at the pink pony club. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the pink pony club. I'm gonna keep on dancing down in West Hollywood. I'm gonna keep on dancing at the pink pony club. Pink pony club. Right? Perfect example of it. 4 chords over and over again, 4 distinct melodies over the same thing. They'll build instrumentation in over one section, like over that bony clothes I'm going to keep. So that part will be real full with instrumentation. Maybe it'll drop out to be real sparse on the you know, so you can make this the parts sound a little bit fuller or more sparse or different, even though it's the same chord progression. I'm not saying that that's not something that's always been done. It certainly has been, but it's a lot more prevalent now. I think that's all I got. I'm probably gonna go. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I'm drinking that because it's the Stanley Cup Finals Game 4 tonight. And hockey season's almost over. So it was time to bring out the Pink Whitney. I hope you all are well. I'll talk to you as soon as I can. All right, love you all. Be well.
Sippin' and Strummin'.